All right, things are not good. Things are better than they could have been. Thank God I found this bag. Jesus. Oh, perfect. You can stay in there. Machete going to the core will be useful. God damn it. Alright. You know what? I don't need that for the core. Not this time. But I do need you. Okay. Vick's alive. Everything's going to shit, but keep moving. I find the core. I gotta find the core. I gotta see if it's intelligent, communicating. It's doing something. If the core is alive, if the core is intelligent, it can tell who's parasited and who's not. And it's finding a way to keep us, I don't know, keep tabs on us in that way somehow. Even if it's not intelligent, even if it's like a plant and not an animal, surely I could, if we can figure out how it knows if someone is parasited or not. I mean, it would remove the need for the blood tests, if nothing else. Maybe that's it. But if I'm going to the core, maybe if I'm going to the core, it's best not to go alone, and it's best to go with someone who knows what the fuck they're doing in the core as much as I do. Which is pretty much only Epsilon and Ronja. I can find Ronja. I'm sure they're fine. I hope they're alright. Hey, oh, shit, fuck, you are, Ronja, everything's on fire, hey, you there? You good? Hey, okay. We want to put the fire down, right? I mean, I know that
fire is exactly where it's supposed to be.
Is everywhere where it's supposed to be. Exactly. Your house is on fire, and also all of your trees and your crops. Are you okay?
Well, considering that the plants have grown out of the planet and the planet is trying to eat things,
Okay. Okay, so the planet, because I don't know if that means that the plants are, I mean, we haven't had any adverse effects from eating plants from the planet the last, like, what, 9 months? It's,
I don't trust it.
That's fair.
Considering I should also be dead when going in water, and I haven't been in the last few months, I don't trust anything that this planet produces.
Alright. That's extreme but understandable given the circumstances. Do you remember last time when we talked about the parasite things? You haven't had any issues with that at all?
I have not interacted with anyone.
Okay.
Except you when you brought me out of the core, and since then I have been
perfect, incredible.
Spiraling mostly, not interacting with anyone. I haven't seen one. I could not tell you when was that anyway.
A while ago. There's been a lot. Yeah, what am I catching you up on? So, more people are parasited. Yippee. It's bad. It's actually real bad.
Right. How many?
Vesper, Aura. I think Vick's fine. Vick and Laika is complicated. Azarchus Everyone already was.
Good fucking god.
A good amount. Dave's also complicated, but not parasited. That's a whole other thing. Anyway,
I don't trust whatever the fuck Dave and Sky have got going on, because something about that is fucked.
It's fucked, I'll say that, but that's also their private business that I'm not gonna divulge. That's kind of the Dave thing isn't the reason I'm coming here. Honestly, all of this is the reason I'm coming here. The planet core thing. I met a new person. There was a whole thing. Eros tried to kill me and hunted me down and ran me into the woods. No, they didn't. That was later.
What?
Azricus and Aura tried to arrest me. They framed me and Miko for the murder of Everin. It was a whole thing. Everin's not dead. Everin wasn't murdered, but the parasite controlling Everin faked the murder. It was a time. But I ran into the woods and I met this person named May, and May is like from the planet. Or not like from the planet. They crashed as a child and are like grown up on the planet. But
what the fuck?
They taught us that apparently the planet doesn't just eat the dead things. It also potentially will eat alive things, but it hasn't because there's still a parasite threat and it can sense that. It can tell when the parasites are still active and in the population that is currently living on the planet. So I'm kind of gonna go back to the core and like the core of the core to like figure out if there's a way that we can communicate with the planet. I don't know if it's like intelligent, alive, but it's definitely something. And if nothing else, we could like harvest a sample or something and try and figure out a way to, if it can detect who is parasited and who is not, we could theoretically use that ability to detect who is parasited and who is not. Does that make sense? Honestly, I've been talking to myself a lot. The only person I've been talking to recently is Vick, who's in a coma on my bed, so...
How is it that every time I talk to you, you just shatter my view on reality in the worst way?
I'm apparently really good at that. I've had
and the last time we talked, we found out that this is now possible.
Yeah, how has that been going?
The bar is in hell.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's also where we're planning to head, so we can go see the bar.
Yeah. Well,
you got a bunch of stuff out of the shape and pulling it up piece at a time.
I pretty much brought up whatever I thought that wasn't too damaged by, rust and waterlogging.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It is not enough. In the water for.
Yeah, it is not enough to build a completely new thing out of, but I'm hoping it is maybe possible to build something out of.
I mean, that's sort of
because I am
my other.
Not staying on here. I am not.
God, we can agree on that. I'm not staying here. Nobody's staying. We're in the middle of getting everybody out. That's sort of my other background thing that I've been working on. I mean, there's core things, and I'm sort of default doing that. I'm sort of default core person because I was living there for a while. But I'm also currently default ship person because our other default ship person is a parasite, and then Amigo, who grows the ships, is busy dealing with all the people who are parasited. So I'm also working on putting together a ship. So the fact that you have usable scraps is, God, that is a relief. I would hug you if I wasn't afraid you were going to set me on fire.
I'm not actively burning. I'm not going to set someone on fire. I have that much self-control.
Well, that's good to know at least. But
yeah, if you need a second ship person, I'm not much of a mechanic, but I kept the Ouroboros in shape for long enough.
Definitely need someone.
And I can follow orders. That is kind of a problem.
I'm not entirely the best at giving them, but I can try. But I mean, our current objective, I guess, is getting to the core. Do you want to come? You're sort of the only other person who is experienced and will not. I'm not worried about dying the second they step foot in there.
Sure. Let me just grab. I have enough food.
Once we're just in the core, I can guide us pretty accurately to where the campsite was or should have been, unless it's moved.
Right.
You ready?
No, but I'll do it anyway.
Appreciate that at least. To be honestly, I just appreciate you coming with me in the first place. I'm kind of in a weird spot trying to distract myself. Like is missing. I can't find her anywhere, which would be concerning under regular circumstances. But right now, with everything going on and with Vick is doubly so, and Migo's busy with parasite cure things, and there's only so long that I can stand outside of Vesper's cell, listen to her yell at me. So it's just sort of distracted myself with productivity as best I can. It's just thanks for coming out here, Ronja. Sorry, it's a bit of a trek. Okay, it should be just welcome to my home. Not necessarily a home away from home. My home in hell. This is the core. Or well, that
What
is
the
I guess.
Absolute hell is that?
That is whatever sent out the distress beacon that brought us here.
Right, I feel like you told me
That
about
is, yeah.
that. There is a thing down there.
Oh, what's there? Oh, there is. Where did you come from, sir? Is that a snail?
That is just a giant snail.
He's just a big snail. I guess it's harmless, probably, to the extent that anything on this planet can be harmless.
Anything can be made harmless really quick. So
it's another good point. I'm gonna take this Hoglin trophy with me, actually. I left it here last time, but I mean, I don't want to just leave it. I mean, I'd offer you some food after that journey, but I don't exactly have much.
Oh, I have a whole backpack full of meat.
Perfect. I think that this stuffed Hoglin is probably not good anymore.
How long has it been here?
Several months. I mean, it's preserved. The heat's,
Yeah, I would not try it.
Yeah, it's basically like smoked meat, so like it lasts, but I wouldn't recommend it.
Nah. It has a sulfuric smell about it.
Yeah, everything in here kind of does after a while.
Yeah, well, but not good sulfuric, bad sulfuric.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't try it. I don't know how to. Oh god, it's squishy. Okay.
Bad.
Yeah. Texturally, it's not particularly fun.
This?
I wish I had an answer. It's organic, we know that, at least.
That is not comforting.
Yeah. Not in the slightest. God, it's been a while. I don't entirely remember it. I think Migo tried to take samples of it to figure out what it is, but it also... Navi was able to... had some kind of telepathic connection to it, like it was speaking to him.
Oh, great. Speaking, because
I don't
that
know
is
if
a normal
speaking
thing.
is the right word, but like they were saying it was affecting them somehow in a way that it wasn't affecting everybody else, but
Right, because that is normal. That is a thing that just happens. You just talk to a planet and it talks back at you.
Guess so. About as normal as anything else happening these days around here.
I need to get off of this goddamn planet. Oh my god.
You're telling me. Did you get... You got a distress signal before you crashed, right?
Yes, that was the entire reason for heading this direction.
Yeah.
Stupid idea though it was. That's what you get for trying to be a hero.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, that beacon, that distress call, that was coming from this. That's how I found this. That's how I found this in the first place. I was traveling through the core, and I set up my radio to see if I could get any sort of signal from the outside. Or we thought that well, because the planet was absorbing things, so we thought maybe it had absorbed a ship that had crashed previously, and I was searching for it. But instead, the signal only got stronger the closer I got to this. Whatever this is what is emanating that distress signal. It's, I don't know, beaming something out into space. And I don't know if it's not a real distress signal. The names and the ships, they don't line up. It said it was from the Starship Lupia, but the Starship Lupia's captain was not Myathan, because Myathan was not on a Ryanair starship, because she wasn't a Ryanair. She was the mother of the person that I was telling you about earlier, May.
If so much hadn't already happened, I would call you insane. Right here and right now.
Honestly, I would probably believe you if everything else wasn't also already happening.
So what? The planet is sentient and it sent out a fake distress call?
I don't
is
know.
That what I'm hearing?
I think I don't know if it sent out a fake distress call, or if maybe someone else sent out a fake distress call before now, and it's just become embedded or absorbed into the planet. Or if the names and the signals are all real people, real signals, real voices, then maybe it's different. Maybe it's like spliced together, different calls, or someone has spliced together. I don't know. Let me, if I fiddle with the radio, I can tune it back in, maybe, or I think keeps getting busted up because I keep taking it everywhere. I had to prepare it with aura.
This is Captain Jacob Barrick of the Starship Cassion. We have crash-landed on an unknown planet. Our star core has been stolen and we are
You can hear
stranded.
that, right?
Requesting aid. Repeat, this is Captain Jacob Barrick of the Starship Cassion.
That's not the same message, is it?
On an unknown planet. Our star core has been stolen and we are stranded.
I don't think so. I don't quite remember, but...
This is Captain Jacob Barrick of the Starship Cassion. We have crash-landed on an unknown planet. Our star core has been stolen and we are stranded. Requesting aid. Repeat, this is Captain Jacob Barrick of the Starship Cassion.
I don't know what it means that it changed.
On an unknown planet.
I don't know what it could possibly mean if it changes. If it did it.
I don't like this. I
also don't. Okay, so it did. Why would it change? The last message worked, didn't it? It got us to the planet. Why? How? If it, okay, so it can't. That means that it is the planet, then, doesn't it? It's not a pre-existing message that the planet is looping. It's just it's doing that, isn't it?
Points point to yes. You're asking the wrong person. That is too scientific. I'm a soldier.
Sorry. That's.
I can slaughter people and I can do all that stuff. I am not a scientist.
I mean, I'm not either. I'm barely a smuggler. Point.
What is that supposed to mean at this point?
I kind of failed at smuggling the things places. I ended up stealing most of it, so...
Smuggling, stealing. I feel like that is a very shifty line.
Yeah, that's... Alright, it's a little blurred.
One man's
Do you think if I can get...
treasure, another man's trash, yet another person's stolen treasure. It's all the same.
Yeah, I guess you're right about that. If I can get down there and get a sample... if I hand you this rope, can you pull me back up?
And
here,
probably try.
Just like oh, that's a gun. That's not what I wanted to throw
That
you.
is no.
Can you throw that back? Actually, maybe don't throw it back while we're up here. Oh, it's fine. I meant to give you the rope. Just hold.
Okay. Okay. Right.
I mean, where you've been doing much soldiering recently? Is that?
I've not been doing much soldiering in years. That's kind of a prerequisite of being a deserter.
Well, it's... Yeah, good point.
Yeah, and
But I mean...
even if I wanted to, I don't think most armies would want a Levantine deserter who killed just as many enemies as allies and killed their commanding officer. And stole their regalia. And their sheep. So...
Well... Honestly, you might be surprised. Maybe you got some enemies who'd be happy to have you on their team, but...
Yeah, I'm done with being an army idiot. I'm nothing, I know nothing, give me a uniform. That's all soldiers are.
Well...
Right.
I mean, hey, if nothing else... Thanks.
Here's your...
You're pretty...
Rope.
Rope. If nothing else, at least you're free from being a soldier now. I mean, we're not exactly free on the planet, but...
Yeah, well, I paid for that freedom in not just even my blood. Not even just the blood of the people I killed after everything.
Sure, you had a reason. People don't do something that extreme without one.
Yeah, I kind of went a little bit insane.
Oh.
Do you know much
Cool.
about the Levantine army system?
Not in the slightest. I've been beginning to learn that I'm incredibly uneducated when it comes to military and political history of the galaxy.
Well, to be fair, that is also how the Levan people want it. Because if other people would be educated, then their people would be educated, and it would be a lot more difficult to keep the normal people in the dark about what it means to serve king and queen and country. And then they couldn't put a bunch of teenagers in the army anymore to just kill each other senselessly because the different planets in the Levan system can't fucking get along.
Sounds like a pretty justified reason to rebel and desert.
Oh, that wasn't even the reason. They killed my fiancé.
Yeah, that definitely adds on to the pile of reasons.
Yeah, and then I kind of just snapped, and I shot a bunch of people, and I don't remember most of it, but I know at some point I was in the room of our commanding officer, and I was covered in a bunch of blood and viscera, and then I killed her, and stole her regalia, and that is this.
It looks nice. It suits you.
Thanks. Thank you.
You doing okay? Dealing with all that?
Oh, well, it's been years, so I've adjusted. I've done a bunch of drinking against the anger, and then I decided that drinking is just fucking stupid. All you do is you lose brain cells.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's
I
been
can't
a while.
confirm that. Trust me, I've done a couple levels above drinking, and it pretty much does the same thing, so...
Yeah, pretty much. There's not a bunch... I mean, there is joy, I guess, in intoxication, but there's no joy when you just do it to make your brain go numb.
Yeah, exactly. It's not exactly
So, yeah,
helping anyone in that case.
No.
But I mean,
So
hey.
yeah, I'm doing fine. It's been years. The anger is manageable now. I'm not going to go into a violent rage and kill a bunch of people at any rate.
Well, that's, small comfort. I think the plants
You're not
around
a
your house
danger.
might disagree. They seem pretty they seem pretty dead.
They'll be fine. It was just fire.
Yeah, I don't think the plant has taken too much harm from that, but at least, it probably didn't hurt.
Yeah. And if it did, I don't feel sorry.
Yeah, that's fair.
Considering apparently this fucking thing is just sending... What? How does it... Never mind the how. Why? Is it just to... Is it like those plants that are carnivorous and they look like they're harmless and so that insects land on it so it can eat them? Is it like that?
I don't really know. I mean, I'd want to say yes. I mean, that it sounds right. It would make sense if this was something disguising itself as a planet in order to eat things. Then yeah. But then why wouldn't it have done it when we first crashed? When we first crashed, no one was parasited. If that's what's stopping it now. I don't know what this thing
You're
is.
You're asking the wrong girl.
Yeah, I just wish the right one was somewhere on the planet that we could ask.
Well, what?
Well,
Since you told me that the planet eats organic things, I've been trying to figure it out. And like I said, I'm not a scientist. That is not my forte. But
you and me both.
the way I figure is, if the planet is sentient to the point that it can choose to eat things, how the hell has nobody in the galaxy heard of that before? I've gotten around a lot of systems. I've never heard of something even remotely like that.
Yeah, me neither. It's a big threat to go unheard of. But, I mean, I guess space is a big place.
Yeah, but the thing is, the more terrifying option is that plenty of people have come here, but nobody got off to tell people about it, and I don't want to think about that option.
Yeah. And, I mean, even that's probably still a more optimistic option than the fact that this might not be the only planet like it, and no one else has gotten off any of the others.
I don't even want to consider that. I'm trying to preserve some sense of we are not going to die.
That's fair. Look, we're not gonna die. Listen, I said we got plans. I got plans. I don't know about anybody else's plans. My plan is to build a spaceship and get everyone off this fucking thing.
Well, like I said, I'm more than happy to assist in that, because good God knows I do not need to be stuck here.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate the help with that. And with this,
Like
I mean,
I
getting
said.
here isn't exactly the easiest.
I mean, you survived in here just fine.
Yeah, I'm just a little rusty since then.
You
You
still
survived in
did
here
mostly
longer.
fine.
Thanks. Take
Yeah,
that as a
well, I feel
compliment
like-
from you, consider you lived here with a house and a farm for a while.
Yeah, well, I feel like that is not a fair comparison, considering this is very similar to the climate on the Levan systems planets.
Yeah, it's a good point, I guess.
Like, that is about as much as complimenting you for surviving on a swampy planet.
Hey, I did pick the easy option when we got to the surface. I went immediately to that swamp. Well, I'm not really living there at the moment. Do many people know where your house is other than me?
Dave and Sky, therefore probably Sky knows. I think I remember Migo saying that she saw me when we first crashed, which was unsettling. But so I guess
Yeah,
she
she's
knows
like
at
that.
least vaguely. The bounty hunters knew where I crashed. I don't know if they know that I live there. I don't trust them enough to make that connection, frankly, because...
Yeah, I wouldn't right now, considering one of them is Parasite second in command and one of them is MIA.
Yeah, I was more just pointing towards their intelligence. I
I
don't
got that too.
trust them to make that connection. Who else?
If
I think that's everyone.
we were trying to gather a lot of people at Migo's base, it's more of a complex at this point. Several stories of tunnels and rooms, medical centers, but
Oh, so
honestly,
you've
if
been
you're...
busy.
Yeah, really busy. They did surgery on Aura a while ago. Vesper's
Oh, God.
being contained so as to not let the parasite out. It's a time, but if you need somewhere safe to stay, that's where we're putting our strength in numbers, but also
Well,
I can't
my
say
house is currently burning to the ground still, so...
that's true. I was gonna say, depending on how safe you feel alone, given not as many people know where you are, it might be alright, but you did burn the house down, so...
Yeah, that, on second thought, that might have been a bit of a rash decision.
Yeah, we can always make your room if you want. I mean, most of the rooms are pretty customized. We could probably set up a climate system in there if you needed it. Make it a little hotter. But
Maybe.
it's
Safety
up to you.
numbers is pretty standard procedure.
Yep, that's where we're going on. I think we found Vesper and Everett's father, or they did, and he gave Migo a strategy plan as a soldier to fix things, so we're sort of following that as best we can. You know, where
That
people
is
are
good.
is kind of step number one.
Fair enough. What is step number 2 then?
Having a backup evacuation plan in case we can't cure the parasites.
Right. So, spaceship.
Spaceship, yeah. Step 1 is know where everyone is. Step 2 is being able to get everybody out of danger if we need to. And we're sort of lagging behind on that one because the danger is already very much everywhere.
Well, when danger is already sort of everywhere, then setting up a base can happen just about anywhere.
Luckily.
It's not either here or there, whether you put it up there or there.
But thanks
Like I said, if the things I'm good at is following orders, even though I don't like to, but I can do it if needed. And I'm decent at killing soldier stuff and so on.
hopefully we don't have
Perks
to
of
get to
join-
that, but
Well, my point is, I think I can do a decent job at defending people, if need be.
yeah, we definitely need
Perks
that
of
right now.
being... Perks of enlisting in the army underage.
Yeah, I imagine there's not a lot of perks that come with that. So might as well take what you can get.
Yeah, well. There needs to be some sort of gold lining, silver lining, whatever. Between my government fooling the young people into thinking that joining the army is the best thing they can do, and then using them as cannon fodder. There needs to be some point to me actually believing that and joining them when I was decidedly too young to.
hopeful outlook to take.
I tried the pessimistic outlook. It didn't work. It just ended in me setting a bunch of stuff on fire. Sounds to me like we need optimism. So, might as well try it.
Yeah, I can get behind that, definitely.
I'll have to see if I can pick all of the pieces from the Ouroboros and transport it somewhere else.
Yeah, I can always help with transporting if you need help with that. I'm looking for somewhere more isolated from the current shelter to build the ship, just so that we have somewhere separate that we can evacuate to if something goes wrong. So
that is smart.
I'll let you know when that's set up. Yeah.
You do that, yes.
You ready to head back to see how much your house is burned down? Or?
Sure.
Yeah. Luckily, it's a little easier to get out of here than it is to get in.
True.
Well.
Yeah, I could have burned better.
Well, I can always leave you to burn it down more if you want. But...
I'll just let the fire eat its natural. That did not make sense. Fire does not eat.
I'd say it's about as close as it can get, but the planet is kind of proving me wrong on that front. So
true enough.
You need a hand with anything around here, or head back?
I think I'll pack most of this up, and you let me know. Oh yeah. Fuck! 1 second. I just remembered that there is one thing in there that we really should not burn.
Oh, yeah, maybe that's fair.
What the fuck? Okay.
Well.
I needed to get this out.
Yeah, it's probably worth even your hands on.
Yeah. The last letter from my fiancé. Kind of important.
Yeah. Hey, I remember I'm the one who fished it out, so.
Yes.
Let me know if you need anything, okay? I'll be...
Will do. And you do the same.
Yeah, of course. Stay safe.
Will do.